Namaste and hi friends, it's Parvati here with Visionary Veda, bringing you your Vedic new moon report for May 22nd, 2020. So let's get started. So tomorrow we are going to be having a really powerful new moon in the sidereal sign of Taurus, happening in the nakshatra of Krittika. So last full moon we were in Vishaka Nakshatra, and I spoke a little bit about trying to figure out which way to go on your path. Now we should know where we are along the path. And now the new moon begins in Krittika. So now Krittika is the nakshatra symbolized for cutting. It's about knowing now what it is that we need to do and being able to cut off what it is that does not serve us, what it is that holds us back. It's a really great new moon for letting go of bad habits, bad relationships, bad ways of, bad food habits, bad habits of thought, bad relationships, bad friendships, bad environments, just, like really focusing in on what it is that needs to be sharpened. Also, the blade, right? It's like Krittika, cutting, critical, right? So it's also being sharp and focused, as well as cutting off what shows you or you see to be untrue for you. Along with this new moon, we have 3 planets, 4 if we include Pluto, but if we don't, we have 3 major planets, Saturn, Jupiter, and Venus going retrograde. And how these retrogrades really, it's a time where most of us probably feel confused or lost or not sure of our paths or not sure of our ways. And if we look outside of ourselves right now for any kind of grounding, it's sort of pointless, because everything outside is also going to be going backwards, right? So it's a really good time, especially if you have retrograde planets in your birth chart, or just in general for retrograde planets. They're like brighter in the sky. You can see them. Like last night I saw Saturn and Jupiter together. It's just like shining so brightly because they're closer to Earth. So we feel their effects more. And when the planets are in retrograde, we feel it on an internal level a lot more than, so we're more powerful on the internal level. So instead of looking on the external for any form of grounding for the significations of Venus, Saturn, and Jupiter, so like relationships, work, ethics, ideals, what's right, what's wrong, trying to figure out any kind of solidity, it will be a lot easier to utilize these energies to do that internally within ourselves. Like, so if we're finding ourselves being triggered by something outside on the external, where is it that we are having that same issue within ourselves, right? And do the healing work on that level. So this new moon will really help us to take a step backwards and look within to see where it is our power to change things really lies, right? Where can we affect change? Is it just by fighting and just by being in constant conflict with what the world shows us? Where is our authority, our inner security, when everything to the external is insecure, right? These are the significations of these planets. So coming back to the new moon, right? So the new moon, we're going to have these 3 planets. We do have these 3 planets in retrograde. We have in Taurus, right, which is the sign of stability. We have the sun, the moon, Mercury, and the Lord of Taurus, Venus, all in the same sign of Taurus for this new moon. And the sign of Krittika. See, now the nakshatra of Krittika is the Pleiades. It's actually the Pleiades. The Pleiades in Vedic mythology is known as the wet nurses to the Lord Kartikeya, or the Lord of War. Kartikeya is the Lord of War. Kartikeya is Shiva's son, his other son, other than Ganesh. And Kartikeya is destined to be the next incarnation to come down and keep the righteous order by fighting the good fight, right? So it is the ruled by the sun, right? So the moon is being at its newest, at its darkest, in the nakshatra of the sun, which is the Pleiades, right? Which is Krittika. So the sun shows us where and how to have something steady in our lives, to be able to start to rebuild and gain our mental stability, right? Because the emotions want somewhere to land and somewhere to feel grounded and stable. And right now, with everything uncertain, the only place one can get grounded and stable is within. And what is the only thing that we can count on, which is grounded and stable in our realities, is the sun. And the sun is what we count on, and the sun is what brings life. And the sun has a certain rhythm, day in and day out, month in and month out, year in and year out, that we can rely on. So where is it within ourselves that we can establish some sort of reliable rhythm to where we can be in touch with that light of source, right? Because if we look externally to ourselves for any sort of authority or truth or reason or sense even, it's not there. It's all very transient and all very unstable and all very confusing right now. So where is it within that I can establish that inner authority, that inner knowing, that inner security, knowing that whatever I need to rely on will be there, right? Reestablishing that connection to source. Venus significations also during this moon, relationships, value, work, health. What steps do I need to take to better my relationship? What steps do I need to take to improve my health? What steps do I need to take to love myself? What steps do I need to take to cultivate more of the things I value in life? And Saturn will show us how to take these steps. So, it's a very incredible new moon coming up tomorrow, the 22nd of May. And I wish you all some really deep insights and positive motivations to create the change from within that we wish to see reflected in the external. So with that, I will sign off. Enjoy the life, and until next time, namaste. We have a really amazing June coming up with 3 eclipses happening, as well as a 4th planet, Mercury, about to go retrograde, so I'll do a report on that. And if anybody would like to contact me for a reading or a session, please do so at the email below. Okay, enjoy the life. Namaste. Till next time, take care. Bye-bye.